Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here, weatherweb.net. It's Tuesday the 26th of February. Thanks again for watching. Remember, the sites get free of charge by you coming back and using the site, by using the adverts, by using the various charts. That's what keeps us free of charge, so thank you for doing that. Great satellite picture this morning once again. This is from 9 o'clock this morning. You see the sunshine across Scotland and across parts of Ireland as well, but still got this mass of cloud look affecting England and Wales. Quite nice features there just showing up in the tops of the clouds, all generated by the wind. Problem forecasting wise is deciding when, where and how this cloud is going to be breaking. I think it will over the next few days, and generally this drier area is going to be moving its way southwards, so certainly brighter weather is on the way. But we're under high pressure, although for some of you, particularly in the south, you wouldn't know it, would you, apart from the fact it's been dry for a few days, although even here there's been bits and pieces of drizzle around, but it does look as if we should find some proper dry weather for most during the next few days. And just looking around the webcams this morning, this really shows how the contrasting weather conditions. This is the webcam for the Hebrides. Let me just try and zoom in on that for you. This is the webcam from hebwx.co.uk this morning. Just look at that, absolutely beautiful there on the Isle of Lewis. Clear blue skies and just wonderful conditions. But compare that, contrast that with Newtown. This is the picture from Newtown for the same time this morning, and just look at that, low cloud and drizzle and just murky. This is Newtown on the Welsh borders, and just look at that. So you can see the contrast between north and south. As I said, high pressure is the dominant feature of things at the moment. It's centred today across the north of the country. Here it is just out in the North Sea, and we've got this easterly flow that's affecting much of England and Wales. That's bringing some spots of drizzle. It'll continue to do so through the course of the day, but just notice how over the next few days really that high doesn't go very far. We stay with a northeasterly flow through the south, but many areas dominated by dry weather. This is just a weak front that comes into northern Scotland during the course of Thursday. As it drifts southwards it weakens, and really the emphasis is on dry weather with that high just staying in place. But with this northeasterly flow across the south, always the risk of catching some cloud there, some low cloud, and particularly I think it's going to be East Anglia, the southeastern corner, that's at risk of low cloud and drizzle from time to time. But generally the emphasis is on dry weather. Now a flow turns more into the north briefly on Sunday. That allows colder air to flirt with northern and eastern Scotland, bringing some rain and possibly even some snow there. But generally you see the high pressure is firmly established into next week, although this feature down to the south here is one that we have to watch into next week, because as that drifts its way further northwards, this is lower pressure. Could that bring some outbreaks of rain to the south? Also, something else to watch is, you might have just noticed there across northern Scotland, but a front stuck in there, bringing the threat of some outbreaks of rain to northern Scotland too. So there are some things that we need to be watching out for as we head into next week. Now the ensemble model, this is from the GFS ensemble. As far as temperatures go, yes, we're cold in this initial period, but they then pick up towards the end of this week, and then you can see how they hold largely steady through the remainder of the period at sort of 8-9 degrees as maximums in the south of the country. If we take a look further north, look at Glasgow. You see Glasgow milder to start with, but then look, we see this fall off in temperatures, these colder air coming in during the early part of next week, the winds turning into the north of the northeast, so we're falling temperatures up towards the north, so we're still going to be staying on the cold side generally. Also, just notice these green bars here. This is rainfall in 6 and 12 hour steps. Notice there's virtually nothing here at first, but then from about the 6th we start to pick up more unsettled conditions, and that's a feature as well that was picked up on the London graph too. Here we go. Look, you see the dry conditions at first, but then look what happens. In comes these more damp conditions, and you can see that on the chart. So this is the GFS ensemble. This is the one for today. There's our area of high pressure. Look east of Scotland. You'll notice that high just kind of lingers around into the early part of March. There's our cooler air flowing in from the north across Scotland, look, but down towards the south we're picking up more of a southeasterly flow from that low as it moves eastwards. Now watch what happens. The low comes in, look, it's moving across the Atlantic, it becomes a real elongated feature in the Atlantic. It's fed by this cold northeast wind up towards the north, meeting the warmer air coming up from the tropics, and really that whole circulation, a huge circulation, gets going into next week. Now what that will do is bring some milder air into the south of the country, although it's the jury's out on exactly how mild that's going to be. It will be milder, probably temperatures near or just below normal for the time of year, but up towards the north here we're always staying on the colder side of it. Now the other question as well is how much rain does it bring to the south? The jet stream is going to be flowing through somewhere like this. The development zone is in here, so there is the potential for little systems just to develop and affect those southern parts of England as fronts, and then those fronts move northwards with this south to southeasterly flow, and it looks as if that's the pattern that continues into the middle part of March, where we're seeing this kind of northward trend of milder air trying to get into the country all the time, at least into the south, never quite making it to the north. But this idea of a slow breakdown in conditions. Now, as far as rainfall is concerned, this is what I mean by rainfall. Look, you see we've got dry conditions largely at first. This is for the next 5 days from the ensemble model. And you see we've got limited rainfall down to the south. We've got bits up to the north as well. This is the stuff coming in later this week into Scotland. On to day 6 to 10, you see it's bringing in little bits of rain. This is stuff coming northward. So this is ending the 8th of March. And then by the end of the period, look, it's damper. We've got sort of 11 to 12 millimeters of rain during the 5-day period. So certainly this idea of it gradually becoming more unsettled is one that's building. As far as the GFS is concerned in terms of total rainfall up to midnight on the 6th of March, so that's taken us up to the close of play. When's that? That's close of play on Tuesday into Wednesday. You can see that fair bit of rain there across the far north of Scotland, but just not much at all across the southern parts of England it sees during the period. So emphasis still on the dry weather, but it is during this period, starting from about the 6th onwards, that we look towards things potentially becoming more unsettled. Now, it's not going to be unsettled as it's going to be wet every day, but it's certainly not going to be the dry dominating weather that we've seen recently. So the story really is, if you can make most of the dry weather now, do so, because it may be that we go into damper conditions into the middle part of March. I'm then hopeful of the high trying to get in again towards the back end of the month. Okay, so I know there was lots of information there for you again, but hopefully that's proved useful for you. Don't forget, as I said at the beginning, that the site's kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen, and it's you coming back using the adverts and using the site that keeps it free of charge. You can follow us on Twitter at Weather School. You can do a Facebook search for Weather School too. But for now, thanks for watching and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.